I want to congratulate Coach Norvell and Florida State on a great game. They played hard from the beginning. Um, with their play and our response, we dug ourselves in a huge hole at halftime. I thought we would come back and settle down and win the game in the second half, and we had our opportunities, and we turned the momentum. We played much better defense the second half. We moved the ball much better the second half. I thought we had the ball 45 plays and 20 minutes, basically the first half. I thought they'd wear it down in the fourth quarter, which happened. But when Trey Morrison forced the interception, and then we didn't get points. We didn't score a touchdown, but we also missed the field goal when we had a lot of momentum going at that point. That killed a lot of clock. It let them take it down to the other end, and then I thought we did a good job getting us back in position to win, but obviously we dropped two passes there at the end of the game that kept us from winning the game. First half was awful. We throw an interception for a touchdown. We have two block punts. I think the first block punt was from the outside, and we had a slow operation because he's a free player that's not supposed to be able to get there. And that set all momentum against us and gave them confidence. And that's one thing they were lacking. They had good players. We knew they'd played much better against Notre Dame, but we didn't need to get them off to a good start. And we did that. And then even with the interception for a touchdown, we come back and we play good defense. Right before the half, we score. They score with 1:09 left, I think, in 5 plays, which was just a killer. Again, I thought, good, we've got it down back to 21. We'll be able to get an easier second half. We'll do better. So when you'll ask me what happened, I don't know. If I knew, I would have stopped it. But obviously, we weren't ready to handle the surge that they had in the first half, and then the kids settled down. I've never been prouder of a group to come back and play like they did in the second half. And Coach Royal at Texas always told me, when your team plays like that, they didn't lose the game. They ran out of time because they obviously dominated the second half. They were just in some trouble after the first half. Questions?
Okay. Thanks, Coach. We will begin with CL Brown. CL, go ahead.
Coach, hope you can hear me better. I was wondering, how do you take this loss and spin it forward just in terms of using that second half as kind of the positive points and the jumping points?
CL, I tell them that's what we should have been like the whole game, and that we're not good enough at this stage in our program to take a half off. And Florida State dominated the first half like we dominated the second half, and it ended up being an even game because of that, and came down to 1 or 2 plays at the end. But we can't do that for whatever reason. I was a little worried that this is the first night game we've played. You sit in that hotel all day and watch games, and we got them up. We took them out to meet, and we came back. But I was concerned about that before the game, and sadly I was right.
And can you take us through in the second quarter the decision to go forward on that 4th and 2 as opposed to trying to just kick a field goal then?
Yeah, I'm always going to go for it if I can. I think we're going to make it. And if you can't make a 4th and 2, you're probably not going to win a game. That's all the analytics now say go for it at 4th and 4, much less 2. So they were moving up and down the field, CL, and I didn't think at that time we could kick field goals and hang in the game. We need to score touchdowns.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay, Andrew Jones, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, what was the demeanor of your team during that stretch in the second quarter? They just kind of erupted on you.
I thought it was okay, but we didn't have people step up and make plays. And good teams do that. We did that in the second half. Time and time again, we did that in the second half. We didn't do it in the second quarter. And that's when the game got out of control. And like I said, I told them at halftime it was going to be maybe the largest comeback in North Carolina history. And I really felt that. And we're a player or 2 away from making that happen.
Also, FSU came in with just 3 sacks in the season. I think they got to Sam 4 times tonight and had a lot of pressure, especially in that fourth quarter. What was wrong with the pass protection in that stretch?
Well, when we're one-dimensional, have to throw it every time. We're not great at pass protection. We know that. That's why we run the ball so much and have play action. And they've got very talented players, and they were blitzing some, and they knew they couldn't cover us, so they had to try to get Sam off his rhythm. So, but that's when we get one dimensional against really good athletes, we're not as good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kira Luck, go ahead, Kira.
Hey, Coach. During the second half, you said that, or excuse me, at halftime, you said that the second half you would find this team's identity. What did you conclude in the second half as far as who this team is?
They're great young people that have a tremendous amount of pride, and they were down at halftime, and a lot of teams at that point would have given up and just quit and gotten frustrated and started calling out each other. And nobody on that sideline was like that in the second half. Nobody was that way at halftime. Our coaches picked them up. Our players picked each other up, and they had a very positive attitude the second half. And that's who this team is. So we'll go back to work because we got an important game with State next week.
All right, Gregory Hall, go ahead.
Mack, what was Florida State doing that was making it so difficult to bring down Jordan Travis on those scrambles that he had?
I think, Greg, everybody has had trouble with him. He's a really good runner. He's a big kid. He can run. We knew that. Lonnie had him at Louisville, and Lonnie told us he was a really good runner. And we just played better defense in the second half.
And what do you guys need to do on special teams moving forward? Obviously, that blocked punt early in the game was a big deal. What do you see with special teams moving forward?
Fix the one or two mistakes we're making a week. It'd been one. Today it was two. One player didn't do a good job. We have to either teach him better or change him in the shield. And we got our punt off too slow, and that's the first time that's happened. So we'll have to go back, and I'll have to look at it very closely to see if it was the snap that was too slow or if Ben took too long.
All right, Luke Buxton, go ahead, Luke.
Coach, your team came in 5th in the country, high expectations, night game in prime time. And then after a loss like this, what is your message to the team after the game? And what is your message to the team this week to get them prepared for next week against State?
Luke, my message was that I apologize to them because obviously I didn't have us into it as early as we needed to. They took the punch to us, and we needed to jump on them. They were a team that wasn't playing with great confidence, and that was our advantage. They've got really good players, and we didn't do that, and that's on me. That's the head coach's responsibility. And then I bragged on them for the second half because I challenged them at halftime and said, you are what you're going to play like the second half as a team and the rest of the year, and they played as hard as they could possibly play the second half. Didn't play great all the time, but they played hard. So I'm really proud of the way they hung in there and came back. That's the second half is the team we want to be. In fact, that's the best we've probably played as a team all year in the second half, and as poorly as we've played together in the first half.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, last one for Coach. Greg Barnes, go ahead, Greg.
Hey, Mac, Jay's defense turned it around there at halftime, as you've mentioned, held Florida State scoreless in the second half. What kind of adjustments did he make? What needed to take place for that to occur?
Greg, we're not rushing the passer very well. We're not forcing turnovers very well. That's been something it's been obvious throughout the year and could jump up and bite us, and it did tonight. But Jay settled the secondary down much better the second half and told them to quit watching the using poor eye discipline and watching the quarterback scramble and stay with their guy. And that's all we did, and it was much better the second half.
Thank you.